What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today I'm coming in with Rehab Part 5. But before I dive into that, I want to mention a couple things. First off, drop a like on this video if you guys do enjoy. Second off, I know that I said I was going to do double uploads today, but a bunch of shit came up. I got called in to meet with my PO. I had to go see my personal trainer. I've been getting swole, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to fuck all yo bitches. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. Not to my subscribers. And I also had a doctor's appointment, so I've been busy as hell. So, I've basically been out all day. Like this is my first opportunity I've gotten to record, so I'm not going to have time to render 2 videos. I'm just not, but double upload tomorrow, okay? I'm sorry. I hope you all still love me. And also, another thing is, I hope you guys are enjoying the sniper gameplay. I've been going hard on COD 4 trying to kind of diversify the weapons I use, and I've had a ton of fun sniping, and in this game in particular, I go off. I go nuts on these fools. I'm like 42 and like 5 at the end of halftime. I'm going nuts. They can't keep up. They can't stop me. So either way, hope you guys enjoy. Let's dive into it. So Rehab Part 5. Now, where we left off in the last one, it was the end of my second day, and we were going into the third day, and that's kind of where I dropped it. Now, I wanted to end it there because day 3 was an eventful day. This is where things really start to pick up in this series. So on this day in particular, it starts off pretty normally. Wake up at I believe 7:20 was when we woke up. Go through the day, do all our stuff. Not really anything crazy happens during the daytime. And, I'm just going through my day. I go eat the lunch. And like I said earlier on in this series, the food at this place is smacking. It goes fucking crazy. It's just, oh man. Let me tell you guys, it's a hoot and a holler. Now, also, at this point, on top of, being here for so long and eating this good-ass food, not so long, not very long at all, but being, sober for what seemed like so long for me, I was fiending hard as fuck for basically any drug, literally anything. And that kind of prefaces and explains why I did what I did later in the day, which I'm going to explain. So I was fiending hard as fuck. I wanted literally any drug. If someone threw a bag of crack in front of me, I more than likely would have smoked it. And I fucking hated crack, but I more than likely would have smoked it. If someone threw a bag of Zans in front of me, I fucking hate Zans, more than likely would have gotten barred out, I was just fiending for anything. So, I'm going through the day, I'm eating, going through the motions, but my whole mind is just on getting fucked up and just, goddamn how bad I miss weed, and I still do, but, I'm not going to touch on that too much. So anyways, finally, we get through the day, get our shit done, and on this particular day, I believe it was a Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday. It was either a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So I'm going to go with Wednesday. I want to say it was a Wednesday. So anyways, on this particular day, on Wednesdays, every day of the week, we have no TV. Normally they let us watch TV after dinner time, and we just kick it and watch Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Family Guy, or shit like that. But on Wednesdays, they don't have it because they want us to bond together. They want us to do social sober things. So they want us to play board games and talk to each other and do shit like that. So basically what that translates to is every Wednesday is boring as fuck. That's essentially what that translates to. Every single Wednesday, we're all just bored as hell playing Monopoly or some shit, just doing some dumb shit. So that also kind of contributed to what I did during the nighttime. So then the night rolls around, okay? It's in-room time, 9:30 p.m. Everyone better get the fuck in their rooms, or they're getting their asses beat. Or no, I think it was it 10 p.m. or 9:30? I think it might have been 10 for the in-room time, actually. So either way, we'll just go with 10. So it was 10 o'clock. We were all in our room. Me, what was the name I gave him? Was it Kyle or Kevin? I don't know. We're gonna go with Kyle. It was me, Kyle, Zach, and Sean. I remember Zach and Sean very clearly because they were my homies. I didn't fuck with Kyle or Kevin or whatever I called him in the last video. But anyways, so it was me, Kyle, Zach, and what's his face? Sean. I always forget the fucking names. There's too many characters in this series, guys. It's hard for me to keep up. But anyways, so we're all chilling in the room, and we're all sitting in the back left cubicle, which is Sean's little bed area, which was kind of our chill spot. And Kyle is just saying dumb shit. At this point, Kyle was really young. Kyle was 14, so we were all older than him. Zach was 17, and Sean was 16 going on 17. So Kyle was really young and like just had that impressionable like wanna be cool to everyone personality. So like we'd be talking about like drugs we'd done or things we'd done or our opinions on certain drugs, and he would chime in and like make up some bullshit story about like his experience with drugs, and you could tell it was bullshit. Like the way he described things, you just knew it was bullshit. Like he told us this one story about how he got this wax that looked like black tar heroin, and it tasted like Xanax. And I'm like, what like what? Like what kind of fucking wax are you doing? And he told us this other story about like his first time doing Xanax. He said he popped like 6 ladders, and I'm just sitting here like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Like, you would be fucking dead if you popped 6 bars. And like, I mean, if he explained how like, he got really fucked up and just blacked out or whatever, I'd believe it. But he was like, yeah, I just went to school. I was just sitting there on the bus, and I went to school. And I'm just sitting here like, this motherfucker, like, first time doing Xans, this little man is 14, very thin, not like much body weight on him, not very tall either, claiming that he went to school first time doing Xans off 12 fucking milligrams of Xanax. Like, I know people who pop bars every day and still don't take that much at a time. Not many people are even able to handle that much at a time. Like, that's ridiculous. That's fucking absurd. So I'm just sitting here and like, the three of us, me, Zach, and Sean, kind of shoot each other that look where like we all know he's bullshitting. Like, we all know. So we're not trying to be like dicks to him or like call him out, but we're like asking these specific questions like, okay, so to explain more, like, we don't understand. And like, we're just laughing this whole time. And he's like, you guys don't have to believe me, but I'm serious. Like, and like, I remember Sean at one point, he was just like, Kyle, you're fucking lying. And he's like, well, I'm not doing this to impress any of you guys. I know what happened and you don't. So shut up. Like, we were just like, oh, fuck, man. I hate this shit. So anyways, at a later point, Kyle had to go to the bathroom. So he left the cubicle and went to the bathroom. And Zach goes and lifts up this little like magazine he had on Sean's desk. And under it was a line of something like this little chopped up powder. Now, I didn't know what the fuck it was. I thought this man had some coke in here. So I'm like, bro, what is that? Like, what you got? And he's like, it's melatonin. I crushed it up and snorted it. Or he was like, I crushed it up and I snorted it. And I was like, why? Because I'd never like really heard of melatonin before coming in. Like, I'd heard the word, like I was familiar with like it helped with sleep, but I didn't know shit about it. Like, I didn't even know really the effects of it or anything. Like, it doesn't get you high, guys. Melatonin, there's no potential for abuse. It doesn't do shit. It's a nutritional supplement. But anyways, so I was like, why? And he's like, cause, I'm fucking fiending and I just want the feeling of snorting something. And I was like, well, I'm fiending too. That sounds like a great fucking idea. So I'm like, dude, you should let me get a line of that. So he was like, all right. So dude busts out another melatonin pill, crushes it up, chops it into a little line using like $1 because they let us have like a weekly allowance there. So he had money. So he kind of like chopped it up and spread it apart with this little like this dollar, and it was very flimsy, so it was kind of difficult. It wasn't a very well-made line, but it was a line nevertheless. And then we roll up the dollar. It was a single because we were all broke boys in there. And very quickly, while Kyle was still in the bathroom, we both railed our lines. He did his first, and then I did mine. And it did nothing. It literally just made me tired. I didn't expect to get high. He made it very clear to me, and I kind of already knew, but he made it very clear, like, this will not get you high. This will not do shit. Like, you might just feel tired. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, better than nothing. I was that's how bad I was fucking fiending. So I railed this fucking line of melatonin. Just saying that sounds so fucking dumb, but it was so fucking dumb. So I guess it makes sense. But anyways, I rail this little line of melatonin, and it's not a pleasant taste. Not a pleasant taste in my mouth, and not a pleasant feeling in my nose. It kind of stung a little bit. Not really any other way to describe it. Just stung a little bit. So after this, I was still feeding hard as fuck. And I remember he had these little, like, cola-flavored candies. Like, they were these little, like, kind of hard candies, and they were, like, soda-flavored. Like, one of them was, like, Dr. Pepper flavored, and the other one was, like, Coke flavored, and the other one was, like, Sprite flavored. And he busted them out, and like he was joking around. He's like, yo, bro, this is some X. You want some? And I was like, hell yeah, bro, totally. So he crushes it up. These little fucking like soda candies or whatever. And then he's like, dude, I'll give you $5 if you snort this. And I'm like, fucking deal. Give me the money. Where is it? Like, fucking deal. So he throws me the $5. I rail that shit. And That was disgusting. That was actually repulsive. It was the Dr. Pepper flavor, and it was kind of like Pop Rocks, but like fizzed when it went down your throat. Like that's how it's supposed to when you eat it normally. It's supposed to like fizz in your mouth and down your throat. So I snort this shit and it's in my nose and it's just like fizzing. Like not literally fizzing, but like it just has that weird tingly feeling, kind of like Pop Rocks, but not as intense, you know? So I'm just like, he's like, how's it feel? I just have this facial expression of just pure disgust. Like I'm just like, this is fucking horrible, you know, like I'm like, shit, you know, like I'm like, fuck, this sucks. So finally Kyle comes out of the bathroom, and I later learned, because Kyle ended up snitching on us for all of this, and I'll get to that way later in the series. That doesn't happen until way later. It turns out that he heard us snorting all this. We thought we were all sneaky and safe, no. He heard it all. He knew it all. He was a little snitch. Let me tell you guys, Kyle was a piece of shit, but I'll get to that way later on. So anyways, Kyle comes back out, and that doesn't make sense either. A druggie being a snitch, like, what? Just what? Like, I kind of understand because, also in this night, none of us really understood why he was there. Like, he wasn't really a drug addict. He just kind of got sent as a punishment from his parents. Like, this kid had tried Xans like a couple times, and he smoked, like, he said he smoked like almost daily, and we asked him how much he smoked, and he was like, a bowl. Like about a bowl pack a day. And we're all just sitting here looking at each other like, why the fuck is this man here? Like, what? This man smokes a bowl a day and he's in residential? Like, are you shitting me? It was absurd. So, we kind of knew, like, just based on that, if this kid was trying to, like, flex and talk about how many drugs he did, which he did all the fucking time, we kind of knew he was lying. Like, you could just, like, when, like, someone's talking about how many drugs they've done and, like, all this shit, and you could just kind of listen to the way they talk about it and, the way they describe it, and just kind of know that they're not being honest about it. That's kind of what we got from him. And it was obvious to other people, like, even outside of our room, too. Like, okay, this kid's a little flexer, I'll tell you guys that much. But anyways, so I reeled this shitty little Dr. Pepper thing, and finally we're like, all right, it's bedtime, boys. The staff comes in at 10:30 every night on weeknights and 11 p.m. on weekends and makes us turn the lights off. Like, they're like, all right, turn the lights off, shut it out, fuck you, lights out time, deuces. So we all turn our lights off and hop in bed, and the beds were pretty comfy here, not gonna lie. I got a good night's sleep in this bitch, but we start telling stories. On this particular night, no one tells a fucking story but me. I tried to force other people to tell a story. I was like, y'all are going to tell stories or else I'm not telling stories. And they're like, all right, just do it tonight and then we'll tell one tomorrow. Like, no worries. They didn't tell one tomorrow. That tomorrow story never fucking came, which kind of sucked. But, I'm sitting here telling these stories. And I told all sorts of random stories. I told this one story in particular that I remember where, like, the drugs went to rehab for doing people instead of, like, the people going to rehab for doing drugs. So I like, the main character was like this guy named Acid, or this, like, it was acid, like the drug acid, and it went to rehab for, like, smoking Asian people and, like, snorting white people, like, you feel me? So it was weird. I told some weird fucking stories in there. And then there was another, like a series story I told where, like, it was like this squirrel spy who would like go around and just fuck shit up. Like, he got in a shootout with, like, a bunch of Latin kings and shit. It was fucked. But anyways, so I'm telling these dumb lit stories, and I finish my story. We're all laying down. We go to sleep, and Kyle decides, we like continue our conversation after the story. Like, some of us just kind of like talk to one another. So Kyle starts. Oh fuck. We're talking about, like, girls and how much we miss, like, pussy and all that, because when you're locked in here, you have no internet access, no access to, like, and any vision of naked women. Like, the most you can get is, like, sometimes there'll be a bikini ad in like a People magazine that they have there. That's like the closest we get to porn or women in general in there. So, like, we're sitting here talking about girls, and Sean didn't give a fuck. He had no boundaries. Like, he would just call people out for whatever he wanted. We were all talking about girls, and, like, Kyle was like, yeah, dude, I missed my girl back home. We used to fuck a lot and, like, shit like that. And we kind of all knew, like, not to believe anything this guy says, just because it's very clear he lies about a lot of things. Now, Sean doesn't give a fuck, so we just asked him. He's like, yo, Kyle. And Kyle's like, what's up? And Sean's like, what's a pussy feel like? And he pauses for a second. Kyle pauses for a second and he thinks about it and he's like, I know I've gotten pussy. And like he makes that very clear. He's like, I have gotten pussy. I'm just trying to think of a way to describe it. And we're all sitting here and I'm just laughing my ass off in bed. I'm just like, holy fuck, what is happening right now? And maybe like 10 seconds later, he thinks about it and he's like, he was like, the inside of a pussy kind of feels like a dry sponge. That literally word for word, that's how he described it. And I lose my fucking marbles. I can't hold it in. I'm just laughing my ass off. And Zach goes, dude, what kind of pussy are you getting? He's like, what the fuck kind of like dry, disgusting girls are you fucking? And he's like, nah, dude, my girl's pretty hot. He's like, so then Sean is like, so you're not getting her wet? And Kyle's like, no, I am, dude. And Sean's like, so why does it feel like a dry sponge then? And Kyle's like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I'm going to sleep. And then he just fucking like stops talking. Like Sean keeps asking him questions and he just doesn't answer. Like oh my God. It was the funniest fucking thing. Like it was just the most entertaining conversation. Like it probably doesn't sound very entertaining in this video, but like if you guys were me in my shoes, like this was just fucking priceless. Like if you saw these guys and like what they looked like and like their demeanor, how they acted, like you'd understand. It just makes it 10 times fucking funnier. So anyways, that was day 3. That was a fucking hoot, guys. It was a good day. And eventually I got in trouble for snorting the melatonin, but that's way later in the series. I didn't get caught for this for like maybe 2 weeks. So another thing I want to mention before I end this video is like after this day, the first couple days I wanted to do it day by day, each episode. But from now on, it's going to be kind of more talking about events, not specific like every day what happened, because I don't remember every day in detail. Like the first couple days are really clear to me and the last like week or so I can remember really well. But besides that, I can just kind of remember like events. I don't remember what like my day to day every single day, so the format's going to change a little bit, but the same kind of shenanigans are going to be occurring. So either way, that's all I really got to say for you guys in this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. And without further ado, and also before I end, I want to apologize for the shipment gameplay, the shotgun gameplay. I hate shotgunners, especially on shipment, but listen, okay? If you can't beat them, join them. All right, I decided to give it a shot. But anyways, hope you guys get it. Give it a shot. Shotgun. Ha! Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.